Hi, this is Stephanie with Ergoprise, and today we are going to learn to adjust our bodies to our new Fehn seat. Now, the first thing you want to do is make sure that your height adjustable desk or table is at the appropriate height. So anytime when you are using the Fehn, you want to make sure that the height is at a position that's going to allow your shoulders to emulate a letter L. And now we're going to learn about how to adjust the seat. Now, before I show how to adjust it, I want to make sure that you understand this is anytime a chair that does not have a back, it's called a seat. And it's very important that when you are seated in the Fehn, that you are seated properly, because if you are seated improperly, it could cause discomfort, and B, we want to make sure that we are doing it right. So I want to show you that before I raise the height of the Fehn, how to get into the seat and out of the seat. You're going to straddle it, and I always prefer to use the handles. You're going to put your bum towards the back of the seat. Now, when you are seated in the Fehn, you do not want to be in this position. You do not want your knees above your hips. When we are seated properly, our legs are not, our knees are not going to be at that height, which I'll show you in a moment how to adjust it. When we sit in the Fehn, it's going to allow those hip flexors to be more open, anywhere from 130 to 135 degrees, which takes a lot of pressure off that spine. So let's go now learn how to adjust it. There is a knob on the right-hand side of the Fehn, and what I usually prefer is to hold the seat in my left hand and then use my right hand to pull the knob. Now, until you're used to the Fehn, you're not going to know exactly which position. So just make sure that when you sit in it, if those knees are bent above your hips, then you need to bring that seat up a little higher, and just play with it. Okay, make sure it locks into position. You'll hear it lock, and that's good. Once again, remember, hold the handles, put one foot on the bottom lever section, and then one on the top. So now, as you can see before, my knees were really bent and hunched over. Now, when I'm seated, once again, try to put your bum towards the to the back. You never want to be when you're seated in the Fehn. You never want your knees locked. So you do want a slight bend in the knee. And now, as you can also see, when I'm seated in it now my shoulders are behind my hips, so I could be in an upright position without the back. Now, position-wise, I'm too far from my keyboard and my mouse. And then if I were to stay at this location and go like this, once again, that's not correct to do. So I'm going to exit my Fehn, and I'm just going to move it in a little closer. So I've already unlocked the casters, and then I'm just going to take my foot, and there's a little plate over here under the gold piston. I'm just going to open that up so I can move it in a little closer, and now I'm going to lock it, and now I'm going to try it and see if I'm close enough. And that feels really good too. So now I'm in my Fehn, and what's so unique about the Fehn is that it allows you to be seated, you could be perched, you can move. There is a section on the Fehn that I can take my feet and put them under the bar, and there's a nice cushion, and now I can actually lean back, and I can rotate, and I can move. So you're not in a static position, because you never want to be in a static position. We want movement. One of the things that's really different on the Fehn, and that I really do appreciate, is the fact that I can alter how the seat moves. So it's, there's a handle right behind the seat in the back. Just push myself up just a hair. And if I turn it to one position, I've limited the movement. And then I can just turn it back and then turn it all the way to the other side, and now I'm really moving. So what I usually would suggest is for somebody who is new at using an alternative seat is limit the seat movement at first until you have more of a comfort level for that. But there's just such a great feeling when you sit on the Fehn that you're not limited as you are with certain stools or other alternative seats. It promotes movement. It promotes blood flow. But I could also move my seat around, and now I can have a conversation with my colleague or whoever is in the office with me. I can also lean up against the Fehn, and then the Fehn can also stow and store underneath. So if you do have any questions about the Fehn, give us a call.